Alright, here we are, guys. Episode number 11 of What I Got This Week. So, of course, let me begin, as always, by saying, welcome back! So, alright, everyone, it's been a great week, actually. Not a lot going on, but a great week. It's my spring break this past week, and I was able to do quite a few things. We tried out the new Captain Marvel in 4DX. It was freaking amazing. The seats moved. They spit water at you. I assume it was the seats and not someone in front of me. There's light effects, scents. I mean, it was a ride for almost 2 hours. It was amazing. But for this week, what am I going to do for the show? Well, a few things. First of all, we have our top 5 books for the week. We're going to have our classic comic review. We'll have a toy review, movie review, and that's what I got for this week. So let's begin right away, guys, with top 5 books of the week. All right, starting off this week, number 5 for the week, we have Batman number 67. Now, already someone might be saying, wait a minute, Batman's number 5 for the week? Why is Batman number 5 for the week? I thought he's usually in your top 2, if not always number 1. I would say that. This issue, I don't know. First of all, this is the only issue I've read where there is no dialogue, no inner monologue. It's a great artistic issue, but it's all art going all the way through. It's another one of his dream sequences. It still doesn't answer any questions. If this was like a separate standalone book, I would have loved it as a separate standalone. But as number 67 in this 100-issue arc, some people have already criticized it feels like filler, and now with this issue, I kind of get on the boat. So why even have it in my top 5? Because it's still Tom freaking King. It's still Batman. It's still artistic as hell. It's a great issue still. So number 5 for the week. All right. Number 4 for the week, what do we have? Guardians of the Galaxy, the reboot number 3. Boot number 3. Now, this is the one I told you guys about previously where Thanos is dead. His body has been taken by the children of Thanos and Hela. We have the new Guardians and the Dark Guardians. We have Star-Lord finally getting his crap together. This was a great issue. I liked it a lot. There's a lot going on here. Captain Nova's a major part of it as well. The Galactic Ghost Rider as well, as you can see him on the cover here. It's a good issue. I liked it. It's a lot of fun. And what I like about Marvel, this is one thing I got to give them. They have to do this, but it is good for doing it. They add these little intros in the beginning of the book, as well as major characters worth knowing, so that you know exactly what's going on. So, my number 4 book for the week. All right. Number 3 for the week. What do we have? Wolverine Infinity Watch number 2. Now, again, we saw this one before as well. Here we have Wolverine trying to seek out the Infinity Stones, who are not really in the form of stones, but in the form of people right now. And what happened is they're able to identify one. They're fighting for it. It ends up being taken from under. It sets up for a long story arc, but it's a good issue. A lot of comedy from Wolverine. It's Wolverine and Loki working together, as well as sometimes you have Odin and Phoenix Logan. I mean, it's some great characters. It's a good issue. A lot of fun. Let me put it this way. If you don't know a lot about Marvel, that's okay. You can get into it. If you do know a lot about Marvel, it doesn't really stick to it, but it's a great issue, and you have a lot of fun with some deep cut characters as well. So check it out. All right. Number 2 for the week. What do we have? Justice League number 20. This is another great issue here by Scott Snyder. And what we have here is the new Justice League meeting up with their alternate personas. Now, again, who they are and what the purpose is, we still don't know. Batman leaves off with a very interesting question. Where the hell are all the villains? And they don't quite answer that yet. We have Superman stuck in his world of darkness, no power of the sun to power him. It's a great setup. I loved it. A lot of great art. So, number 2 for the week. Now, number 1 for the week, what do we have? Well, this is a new title that we have for number 1 for the week, at least new for me. We have Shazam, number 3. Now, this issue of Shazam, as you can tell, or if you can see right here, who is that? Johns? That's Jeff Johns. That's one of the major officers at DC, one of the major writers behind Batman, Superman, Justice League. He's a great guy. And here we have Shazam. Now, who else do we have here? We have Mr. Mind. Now, I gotta say, Shazam, a little bit of history lesson here. He was created in the 1940s as a way to compete against Superman. He was too similar to Superman, and so he lost a major court case over property rights. He couldn't be published. Eventually, Initially, he could, but he couldn't use certain aspects of his character. Eventually, DC ended up buying it out. Now, on top of that whole issue, his name was Captain Marvel, but in the whole fiasco of him being out of publication, Marvel Comics created their own Captain Marvel. Great. And on top of that, now he's back, and at first it was like, what do we call him? Do we call him Captain Thunder? Shazam? Well, they go Shazam, which is, of course, short for Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury. Those are the 7 powers that enable this young boy, Billy Batson, to become Shazam. Now, how do I know this? Well, by the way, guys, this is a great issue, number 1 for the week, and leads into our movie review, because we were able to see a sneak preview of Shazam, thanks to Fandango, and I gotta say this, not a lot of spoilers, it was a fun movie. Now, I gotta give this a rating already, so out of 5 wigs, I'm gonna give this a 4.35 out of 5 wigs. Why that's specific? It's a great movie. I would give it, if you want a letter grade, I would give it like a B+, A- area. It is fun. It is fun. DC has slowly been getting out of their grudge. We had Wonder Woman, which was amazing. We had Aquaman, which was amazing, and actually surprisingly amazing. And now we have this Shazam, and Zachary Levi is again, I keep using the word amazing. Why? Because it just is. It was fun. I took my daughters. We went saw it. Now going back to Mr. Mind, I'm going to say is, keep an eye for the end credits. They're really important. And what's going on is DC is staying true to the roots of the original Shazam character. So that's what they're bringing back, like the Savannah family and Mr. Mind and all this, because that's what's like the OG. They're going to bring him into the Justice League to fight, you know, the major bad guys. But right now they're setting his story up. I liked it. Great job, DC. Great job. All right, so next up, I'm sticking with DC for the toy review, because for this week for the toy review, what I got? We got this new pop. Now, this new pop, as you can tell, it's a little bit dark. Oh, yeah, it's a better light right there. Can you see that? There we go. This is a pop. It's Batman 39. This is what he originally looked like. Now, as you can tell right there, a little bit of thing unique. He's got purple gloves. Yes, he had purple gloves when he first started. Pop is coming out with these great throwback Batmans. I'm going to be getting the 1950s Batmobile hopefully later on. But today we have the 1939 OG Batman. Great job. I like it a lot. So thank you, Pop. All right. Now, for this week, what do we have for the classic comic review? Well, it actually connects to a TV show coming on Showtime called The Boys. And that's what I got here. The Boys is a 12-part epic series from Dynamite Comics written by Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis is an underground legend. I say underground because he's written a lot of stuff for mainstream as well, but his underground stuff I think is especially good. Now, when I say underground, because this is not your traditional comic books. This is dark. Now, for this next thing I'm going to show you guys, please look at the kids out of the room, because this is not a very pleasant image. But this is dark. This is the idea of The Boys, is that this is a group that trying to keep superheroes in check when they're going too far with their vices and their avarice. So what ends up happening? Well, there's a lot of violence. Ready? Kids out, censored. Here we go. Look at that. They rip his freaking eyeball out. Now, besides things like this, which, believe me, don't feel too bad for him, because here we find out he used to be a Nazi as well. They go into some deep stuff. They go into political stuff. They go into environmental stuff, history. It is well written, but it is dark. Dark and bloody. I recommend that if you're not yet at least 16 years old, you do not read this, because it is way too mature. And even at 16, I think might be a little bit too graphic and too intense for some people, maybe even 18. Why am I bringing it up? Besides the fact that Showtime is doing a show about it. It is an example of how comic books can be done that are not just for kids. This is a medium. This is a medium, an art form that can bring in all kinds of things. You can teach history with this. You can teach science. You can teach English. In this particular case, it's a dark socio-political, well, basically piece of fiction, but it's also at the same time a commentary on society. Garth Ennis is great when it comes to that. And if you notice right here, does this guy look a little bit familiar? Like he maybe looks like Simon Pegg? Well, he was the inspiration for the character here of Wee Huey. But what's going to end up happening in the TV show, Simon Pegg will be playing his father. So once Showtime comes out with that, I'll be giving a review of that as well. Alright, guys. that's what I got for the week. So we got toy, we got classic comics, regular comics, movie review. It's been a great week. Hopefully next week we'll get the Loot Crate shipment in, hopefully. And that's what I got. So everyone, thanks for everything, and wig out.